boo, shooby bop boo. Boom. Like a boss. Like boss. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of what I'm now titling Manabeast Live, because, I don't know, kind of seems simple, kind of seems easy, because we are live and we're Manabeast, so it just kind of, worked out. I don't know. I'm outside, actually, as you may not be able to tell. There's a whole forest behind me, and I decided to just, roll this thing live because, I'm just how I roll, baby. It's how I roll. Today, we were originally supposed to have John Milner on the show. However, because of my own technical difficulties, actually, nothing because of him. It's actually just because I was having technical difficulties getting some more advanced stuff working, because then I'm not just streaming from my phone, I'm streaming from my laptop and getting in the Skype and all that. And I mean, I had it ready, but then I didn't. So, it kind of affected things. So he will be on next week instead of this week. But this week I decided, since we don't have him on, something that I've heard everybody talk about is the dark horse decks that have been developing in the meta, because we talked last week about kind of the big decks we saw developing in the meta. We talked about Android 13, Cooler, and Broly, like the new ones, and then some of the old ones we saw popping up again. We talked about Krillin, we talked about Piccolo. So today I wanted to talk about the dark horse decks. The decks that not a lot of people know, which could be really anything. I mean, we have heard some rumblings about Raditz. What's up, Numa King? How you doing? Yo, what's up? I'm doing good. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful, man. I'm beautiful. But yeah, we've heard a lot of the some Raditz hype going on a little bit. We've heard some still talk about even Android 20 still being involved in the meta. And so I wanted to do this episode to kind of get your guys' opinion on what you think the dark horse decks are that not a lot of people are playing right now, but that you may see pop up at regionals, or that you may be surprised how good they are. Something I talked about and mentioned in a couple, I don't actually know what I mentioned it in. I said something about it at some point. I said Orange Adept Turles is really amazing, and I don't think a lot of people give it credit. This was an idea fostered by someone here locally in town who we call Russia, because his name is Yevgeny, and not a lot of people know how to say his name because he is Russian. But anyway, shout-outs to him, by the way. So that's something that I felt that in the Set 5 meta was a dark horse deck. Of course, I still loved Red Ruthless Turles. I as much as I've played Red Ruthless Turles, and I like it a lot, I don't know if I would put it at the status of a dark horse deck, because a lot of people know about it. I mean, hey, if you've been on Retro and you see, there are times that the Dennis Bros are posting about the Turles, especially the Red Ruthless, and the hate is real. So I wouldn't say it's dark horse, because to me, dark horse insinuates that not a lot of people know about it. It's kind of an unknown under the radar deck. So I wouldn't put Red Ruthless Turles on it. But anyway, I'm jabbering on. I want to know your guys' input. Of course, we're live here, so you can tappy in the comments and respond to us here, and let us know your thoughts on what are the dark horse decks that either you've played or that you've gone against. I did touch a little bit on Raditz. I have seen him pop up in regionals in both black and in Saiyan forms. Especially with Unleashed and all the leveling cards, getting him to 4 and doing some nasty menace loops is much, much easier these days. So a lot of people are trying him out in this current meta that we're in. The other things that I've seen as far as dark horse decks are, well, even starting the regional season, Blue Tag Team Gohan. And I'm going to really talk about that a little bit, because nobody really played that. I mean, let's be real. In regionals and in even locals, I didn't see a huge presence of Tag Team Gohan. Now, we are seeing it a lot more in the meta ever since Timpato won, and I think people thought about it, but it wasn't a deck that people really expected to be as big as it is now. Timpato's performance has made it big, and I think it brought a new credence, a new level to what Tag Team Gohan can do, and I've seen it played, and it has, I think now is out of the dark horse, and I think it's now even better. John S., I have been wanting to build a nail deck his name cards would help in this meta, I feel. Well, John, I agree with you, because I think especially in a black deck, because there are a few cards in black that are considered named, and they're actually really good ones, you could pull out with some of his effects would be nice. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, and the whole deal is I've seen like a Nail physical beats deck, that runs Namekian backhand. Yeah, I could see that rolling. I could see that as kind of a dark horse in it. It's just you'd have to perfect it. That would be really only the problem. Devious Android 19. Okay, I am completely on board with you, Dana. Completely on board. Actually had this huge conversation with some of the guys. We went up to Texas Regionals, and we were hanging out at Valdez's place, and we're chilling, talking, and one of his friends says to me, hey, I really want to make 19 good, because 19's name cards, like just his name cards, are actually really, really good. Really, really, really good. And so we talked about it a little bit in Theory Crafted, and what we came to was Devious Android 19. I mean, the fact that it is the best naked style in the game, bar none. It works a lot with the whole... it kind of falls into his game plan, too, because black is a lot about disrupting, and his energy card is about disrupting as well, because you can attach it and then detach it for benefits for blocking. And then, of course, his draining attack, which, allows him to put it onto his opponent so that anytime stages are gained, he also gets them as well, which is a huge deal. We messed around with it. Now, we didn't do any real testing. We didn't get a chance to sit down and do games, but in Theory Crafting, it sounds awesome. Oh, hey, what's up, Andrew? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Oh, this is your business account. I like it. He's like, just I'm on the DL. Don't tell anybody I'm on Dana Pool. Okay, nobody knows. I was gonna say, that's a cool name. I was like, Dana Pools. That sounds like a weatherman. Hi, I'm Dana Pools, and today the weather is nice and sunny here in Philadelphia, and over in the south we've got this. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Well, thank you for joining. Even it is on a business account. You're still here. But yeah, I think Devious 19 could be really good. It's just, again, kind of going back to Nail, it's getting the ratios right. And I think that's what makes a deck like that more difficult, because, and I'll say this as someone who's built 13 and Broly, that not that you don't have to be skilled in your building, not that the deck doesn't have to be built correctly, but I think the deck is a little more forgiving when it comes to the card pool available. You can have this really crazy wide range of cards because their name cards are so good. I mean, Android 13's name cards are just that good that you can afford to kind of not have a exact ratio. You can kind of, fluff it up a bit with your own style, and the innate abilities of the MP along with the name cards do well. Jonas, do you feel Yamcha is a dark horse? I feel, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Personally, I've still seen Yamcha around. I think he could. I think yeah. I'm gonna say he's a dark horse. I'm gonna say he's a dark horse because Yamcha's one of those decks that has I've seen do really well. In blue variations, in the orange, of course, and even in red Enraged with Trailing Blast and a lot of that. He just hasn't, to me, in tournaments and performance, hasn't gotten to that next level. He has done well, and I've seen him perform, but it's just not the deck that you've seen in set 5 and even set 6 that everyone goes, oh yeah, that's the deck to look after. Worry about Yamcha. I don't really see people building their decks a lot about worrying about Yamcha. I mean, of course, his named guard is amazing and working with endurance, but of course, I do think that it's a little more scary now that Broly's around, because Broly level 4 just says, hey, that's a cool card, but I'm not just, preventing you from using it. You just can't use it at all. Endurance can't be used. But I would say he's one to watch out for. Yeah, Orange Yamcha's fierce. Yeah. Just say, Isaiah, hey, USC Wildcat, thanks for being here, man. It means a lot. Touches me well. But yeah, Orange Yamcha, I mean, he can really get into it. I mean, played decks. Tim Cable had a red Enraged Yamcha that could just card draw for days. I mean, it would just card draw, card draw, card draw, level up, down, level up, down, level up, down, and then, you know, the goal is to get to 3. So with Orange's new Unpreventable card, making all your energies unpreventable, especially when you're at the lower levels, because, you know, the goal is to get Yamcha to level 3, right? Because you want to do unpreventable damage. But what would be nice is get to level 2, you know, fishing those cards out of your discard pile, and then go into town on them. So, yeah, I think we will be seeing a little bit more of him, and I do think he's a dark horse, because he has been overshown, I think, by the new MPs, and everyone's really obsessed about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Helping my workday finish. Hey, you know, if we can help your workday finish up, you know, if we can be the icing on the cake, then we feel. Sorry, I'm freaking out. I'm seeing like bugs. Okay, we're good. Sorry, it's all good. The bugs aren't attacking me. I'm just deathly afraid of wasps. Just so you know, like anything else, if there was a snake or a spider, whatever, man, I'm killing that thing. Don't even care. But if a wasp comes by, I'm running away like a little bitch. I'm running away. I'm out. Peace, deuces, done. So just in case you see me run off like a little girl, that's why. Just gonna be upfront with you guys, because, you know, we're like family. I gotta be honest with y'all. I'll show you my Devious 19 if you want to test the next few days. I utilize Confident Shot with 19 chokes and use Android allies with A14. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that, definitely. I mean, because Android 14's ally ability actually, you know, works in tandem with a lot of the cards you've got. So I could see that. UC Wildcat says the goal is to go to 2. Throw that fierce attack on repeat because it's always gonna be free. Yeah, that's true. It's that'd be nice and free, man. Just throwing that out all the time. And with Orange's energy game, you know, doing the +1, it gets pretty insane. Yeah, I think you could, and then you could also, you know, work with Unleashed, you know, because there are a couple of, not much, but a couple of orange attached cards, you know, like Dressing Room, Orange Dressing Room, which really that works in with stages, so it's not necessarily going to work with the energy, but hey, in a sense, then it turns the orange mastery into a black mastery because you do the +1/+1, and, you know, hey, any little damage, especially when you're going up against a deck, that little extra bit helps. So yeah, I can see Unleashed working on that and getting them up a level. So yeah, of course you've got Devouring Drill as well, which is a super easy level in Orange too. Of course, like I said, if you guys have opinions on Dark Horse decks, just post them here and we'll talk about it. Just go in a little chat here. Let us know what you think. Let us know what are your picks for the Dark Horse decks coming up here in Sec 6, because we got Gen Con coming up. Like, I think that's the real big thing we're going to see. I think Gen Con is going to be, it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of decks there, and there's going to be the expected, the normal, usual suspects, but I think we're going to see a lot of the Dark Horse decks pop up in Gen Con, because now the thing is, we've had time to experiment with the meta. We've had time to adjust to the changes that the new MPs bring and the new card pool brings. And now people are theory crafting and going, okay, wait, I've tested my new decks, but wait a second, how does this, you know, how do these new cards work with my old MP? How do these new cards are able to combat the new stuff coming in? Oh yeah, Quick Blast as well hurts others more than Orange. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, because just being able to, the utility of the card, I think, is what's really useful. You know, I mean, the card by itself is great, but just the utility of it, you know, is something that a lot of people are going to be able to utilize now in their decks. Also, be on alert for old set 5 killer to make some noise. And I have no idea what Luigi over 9000. Minthrium. I don't know what that means, but I'll go with it. Well, it's really interesting you mentioned that. My pick, I think, is going to be Cell. I think a lot of people have forgotten about Cell. I mean, he was huge in set 5, and then set 6 came, and I have not seen a more drastic drop in the use of an MP than I did with Cell. And I think people always went to the new stuff, and I think it's good. But man, I mean, Cell is still super powerful. He's still super scary in this meta, and there's a lot of stuff now that's been made available to him, tool-wise, in Namekian, in Red. I've seen some Red Ruthless Cells, actually, and the level mechanics with Unleashed. I mean, let's see, Newman King says, Cell was big in set 5, but ever since set 6 came out, no one plays him. I think Cell Restored can be good again. Yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree that he can be good again. I just think people have forgotten about him, you know, and they're playing all the new stuff. So, but I went up against somebody in a Winnabox who was playing a Red Ruthless a really interesting red Ruthless Cell that ran Unleashed and Trailing Blasts, and I mean, he got up in levels quick. Let's see here. What do we got here? Would Quick Blast banish Yamcha Rescue, and then Rescue would shuffle back in? Yeah, exactly. So that's where it's like, it's really weird. I didn't mean to type. Of course, you talk about Cell as soon as I was able to press enter. LOL. Didn't mean to type. Oh no, it's okay. No, it's as soon as you press enter, boom. Hey, great minds, man. Great minds think alike. No, and his leveling mechanics are even. They're not only more enhanced, and so like people are talking about restored, is a big thing. But I think now with Unleashed, styles which couldn't support Cell because Cell needed to level like mad, can now support that. Just think about Black Devious Cell, right? Leveling mechanics in Black aren't that great. I mean, you've got the passive anger gain with cards like Black Command, and it does have anger gain. You can do an anger crawl, but Cell really benefits off of just like a massive boost in anger gain. So, think, ladies and gentlemen, what if we started to run Cell in Black Devious, and we start running Black Capture, right? We start running all the attached cards that Black runs, okay? Now we run Unleashed, boom, we get up in levels like that. So now that we're benefiting from the passive actions of these attached cards, but now we're benefiting with the anger gain as well, in a style that really didn't make Cell boost up to level 3 or 4. So now we can just quickly go ahead and get to 2, quickly, get up to 3, bump up to 4, to me, that is going to be deadly. Cell's his level 3 now, what, we're 8-1 instead of just 7? Just 8-1, 8-1 unpreventable. Okay, awesome, amazing. 8-1. I'll do that all day long. What is? Oh, see, did you see me pansy out? Did you just see that? I just pansied out because I'm watching something over there. I don't think it's going away. Yeah, back off. I'm not scared of nothing except for wasps. 'Cause I'm a little bitch. Anyway, yes, Devious Cell. That's my call personally. I think Devious Cell could be really good in this meta. The 1+1, the discard effects, and then in game just sitting on level 3, baby, and just having an unpreventable attack for 8-1. I don't know. Seems pretty good to me. Other set 5 personalities. When we talked about Yamcha, talked about Cell. Roshi's really not a dark horse because Roshi's still around. I mean, I still see Roshi around. I still see it doing fairly well. Also, I don't see it having a struggle with the new meta. I see especially Black Roshi, doing all the, jumping in and out of combat. Red Roshi still sitting in the back pocket, not getting into combat. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for joining. Great to hear your stuff, man. Gotta go. Hit me up if you want to. Dude, totally. Definitely hit you up, man. Thanks for joining, and thanks for being on your account, on the work account. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. We love providing the goodness of deck theorying and meta theorying. Other stuff in set 5, I'm trying to think if there's other personalities in set 5 that are really going to be Dark Horse. Not that I know of, and that's really the difficulty now that we're getting into is advancing into Gen Con and then the rest of the regional season is predicting the meta reliably because now we got to talk about the old stuff coming in. Jonas, how do you feel about the Beerus ally not working with Roshi? I think it's fair. It part of me is afraid that it's just one of those slippery slopes that if it did work, I fear that it would just be a slippery slope that we would get into certain situations in which it would give the person who was running the Roshi ally too great of a neutering advantage. I know, because that's the other thing, and I think that goes back. I think less than my issue with the Roshi ally is how the game is worded in a lot of ways, which makes it confusing. So part of me actually would like things to kind of be reworded and errated so that it would make more logical sense. Because I get why people, I get why people want it to work and why it should work in some situations. However, the language and how they define things in the game is sometimes so spotty that you don't really know from time, from minute to minute, what's going to work and what's not. So for me, I would rather just have it more clearly defined. I'd rather the language be better defined, and they have a better concept of when they're defining, what is deck, what is not. But his weak attack table. I'm assuming you mean Roshi's weak attack table, as far as for reference for physical attacks. Let me address Luigi over. Says, what about the Saiyan Raditz Menace Loop? Seen it once and was reading some of the new cards, and they get you set up to drills. Yeah, I kind of talked about it earlier, but with Unleashed now and with all the Saiyan attached cards, I mean you can get Saiyan Raditz up to level 4 quick, really quick. Within a couple combats, he's up to level 4. And the big thing has always been that the Menace Loop has been really, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong, because there are so many cards in Saiyan right now that get you that card out besides just Raditz's level 4, his high level effects. However, I think it can still be situational. That's the one problem with it. When it goes off, it's amazing, and you're just like, lose 4, lose 4, lose 4, lose 4, lose 4, lose 4, rejuve, lose 4, lose 4, over and over and over and over again, especially with allies. So it's like a super cool, good mill thing. But I don't know. I think it's really cool. I think there are some viable options for it, but I don't think it sits in the top tier of the meta. But I would put it at a Dark Horse deck because I don't think a lot of people are going to be expecting, and especially, actually, let me rethink that. With Gohan ally decks, with Ginyu still being around, with Android 13 still having allies, and with all of the new MPs having their kind of named. Oh God! See? Did you see what I did there? I heard it buzz. You didn't hear this thing. Okay. It's huge. It was gonna get me. It was gonna kill me. You don't even know. There we go. That's my Dark Horse deck, is WASPS. If you bring WASPS to a regional, I'm out. I'm just done. You bring WASPS.deck to the tournament, I'm just deuces. I'm out. I'm not playing your deck. GG, you win. Automatic. I'm gonna drop. I'm dropping the judge. I'm dropping the game. Yeah, he brought WASPS. Nah, screw this. I'm not playing against WASPS. I'm done with this. Done. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I would say yes. The Menace Loop is more deadly now with all of the allies that are available at the moment. So, yeah, I'm interested to see it. But again, I just like the Saiyan style as it stands is much better in set 6. Much better. But again, I look at a style like Black Devious and I go, but Black Devious and all the black cards. It's as a naked style, Black Devious is still, in my opinion, better. And so that's why I think the one weakness that makes Saiyan Raditz just a little less viable. If it had the card pool that Black did in Saiyan, maybe a little better. Red Ruthless Wasp. Yeah, dude, no. Dude, I played this. Did you play the Red Ruthless Wasp deck? Dude, that deck OP, man. It's got red Stinger. Sting you a million times. Yeah. But BS, dude. Hit me that for like 20 life cards of damage, dude. Done. Not even playing Red Ruthless Wasp. I can't stand that deck, dude. Done. I'll play against Red Ruthless Spider. Toads. Red Ruthless Snake. Got it. No problem. Okay, and that's my problem with Wasps. They got that 3D motion. Like, Wasps, compared to like Spiders and Snakes, the Spiders and Snakes, they can jump, but there's like 2D. It's like, woo, like on a 2D plane. I'm either going to go this way or this way. Like, cool. And I'm above you. I'm 6'4". I'm a tall guy, right? So I'm above you. I'll stomp on you. We're cool. But a Wasp, right, it adds that, the vertical dimension up and down. So it can sting me in my eyes, in my nose, in my ears, sting my nipples, sting my dong, just like, I don't want that. That defensive burst MVP, dude, screw that card in the dick, because that card is OP, man. That card is OP. Like, I can't tell you the number of games that has won me and has won friend of mine when they're playing it, because that card, OP. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. So anyway, that's really my thoughts on the Dark Horse decks. It's really the only ones I've been thinking of lately. They talked about Yamcha, Cell, and then talked a little bit about Raditz. So I think those are the ones I'm personally feeling, but I'm really interested, like I said, in Gen Con. I'm really interested to see what people bring and what we see come out of that are going to be the decks that no one expected. Because, again, Orange Android 20 was a big deck back when the Worlds was around, and no one expected that deck. No one thought about, people thought about that deck, but that was not the deck that people were expecting to see a lot of. And once it came and hit, man, everybody started playing it. It was like the MVP deck for a while. Will Orange Android 20 make a resurgence? Possibly. I think the real problem is that we're relying on a very physical meta right now, so the whole energy, it's there, but it's not really as vibrant as it was before. I think once we start seeing the energy meta develop again, and with orange decks possibly, and even the Gohan Ally deck really runs a lot of energies, but I think we'll see it still do well. And with all the new orange cards, I'm interested to see where it goes, because it may also be a dark horse deck. New King, I wish I could go to Gen Con, but I don't have money. You know what? Money is good for going to these things. And yeah, I'm really, I'm still getting things planned. Like, I'm 90% going, but like part of me is really bothered that I have to pay so much money just to go to this thing. Like, to literally just get tickets to the event before even paying for registration. It's kind of a pain, but I'm like, it's Gen Con. I'm gonna go once. Like, I've never been before, so I'm gonna go, and it'll be more of an experience just to go and hang out. So, John S. Blue Protective Cooler DBV. I've really been trying to get it right. Blue Protective Cooler, Dragon Ball Victory. Okay. I hadn't thought about that. It's a woodpecker over there. I'm doing the nature show. And if you look over there, there's the wild kookaburra. He's right over there. That just watching his prey. The woodland creatures, very delicate beings. Shouldn't disturb their natural habitats. The interest fee is what's getting me. Yeah, I agree, New King. Yeah, the interest fee is really high. It's like $120 some for the whole weekend. And like, I think you can buy a day pass for like $75 or $80, but then you're kind of stupid for not just buying the whole week. So, sorry. I'm running away. It looks wasp-like. Okay. Alright. I think I'm okay. Yeah. Back up off me. It was scared. It was scared of me. Basically, level 3 gets balls back. True. Oh. I see. So the ultimate ball deck in that way. Well, then, would you maybe use New Piccolo? New Piccolo level 4? Like, to me, that would be like a blue protective New Piccolo level 4. Like, run what they did back in the day, like the Piccolo Ally deck, but run New Piccolo with balls. So you got the Ally game and the balls, and then you neuter their balls. Man, that sounds so bad. You neuter their balls, and then you gain advantage by getting them out of the banish zone. I don't know. I've been doing a red enraged ball victory. I could see that. I mean, all the crits, and then running. Yeah. I mean, it kind of runs like how Red Roshi runs with doing all the crits and everything. So yeah, okay, so cool ideas. And that cooler level 3. I didn't think about it like that. It's just an automatic retrieval even if it's banished. Very nice, very nice. I like it. Be interested to see how it worked against decks that run a lot of crits. The auto crits like Red Roshi, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how it works. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's really about all I had. Didn't really have more to say about it, but of course, if you have more to say, just post in the comments below. Or yeah, Red Enraged Cooler DBV. Yeah, might be a possibility. And I guess on that note, I would put Cooler as a dark horse deck. Let me end this with saying Cooler is a dark horse deck because I think the hype has been Android 13, understandably, and Broly, understandably. We have seen Cooler perform, but again, hasn't performed to the level I think a lot of people want it to, and I think it will be a dark horse deck because we're going to see people working more in line with these new ideas, like John and Numa were talking about, like a Dragon Ball Victory deck, utilizing his level 3 for more than just, the average what you would think to get, is Supernovas back and all that. So, yeah, that'd be another one. So, anyway, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate this. Come next week, as we're going to be, we should be doing it on. I'm going to double check because I may be already leaving for Gen Con at that point. But we'll double check and see. But next week we were supposed to have John Milner on, good friend of the show's, and someone who I highly respect, talking about his theories in Dragon Ball Z. So again, thank you all for joining me. Really, really appreciate this. We are going to keep making this weekly. And if you guys have comments about how to make it better and things you'd like to see instead, let us know. But we want to continue the interaction. We also do have on the YouTube channel, if you go check it out right now, just posted before this video, is a video where I did my thoughts on the Air Capital Clash. I kind of go through the whole tournament, talk about my experiences, what we did. So it's a really neat little video. If you want to kind of see what the Air Capital Clash was like for those who weren't able to attend, you can go check on that video. And as always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. It's always appreciated. And yeah, we will see you next week for more Manabeast Live. Love y'all. Thanks for joining us. Love y'all. Deuces.